I'm very excited for this. This is something I've been working on for some time now. It's been a personal project of mine. I've been collaborating with other people, but I figured I might as well just take things into my own hands. And, well, I built a website. That's the big news. The other day I was talking about how I had huge news and a huge announcement this week. Well, this is it. I finally have my own website, people. We have made it. It took me about 2 to 3 months to finally, fine-tune everything, figure out how I wanted it to look, how I wanted it to perform, what I wanted to use it for. I mean, these were kind of things that I had to iron out on top of figuring out how to actually build the website myself. It was a side hustle to my side hustle. And I'm somebody that loves to have projects going on. And that's something I'll talk about in a minute. But this is one of them. Is the huge announcement is my website. So how do you find my website? It's very simple here. I'll pull it up here. I'm up here on DuckDuckGo. You can use any web browser. And you just do this simple thing. You type in TJMARTINO.com. And you pull it up. And boom, there it is. There's my website. As you can see here, got the, episodes play in the background here. Then we also, if you scroll down here, this is the home base. So you can tweet at me right here. It's a little tweet plugin. You can tweet from here. And then here is the official TJ Martino podcast Instagram page. I'm trying to post here more and more. And you can access the Instagram page straight from the home base. This is kind of will be more of the visual, interactive segment of the website. More will come. Obviously, this is just a very. Let me preface this by saying this episode is very this website is very much a work in progress. It's a live website, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm going to be doing to it. But this is, just the baseline entry level website. And then this is the home base, as I mentioned. This will be a lot of the interactive visual section of the website. Then we move here to the full episodes tab. So this is where you'll go, tjmartino.com/full episodes. You'll go there, and here you can find all of the entire library of the TJ Martino podcast will always be on the tjmartino.com website. Will always be there. As you can see right here, I have the YouTube playlist. You can come up here to this top right corner, and you can select any of the episodes for the podcast. They're all here. The entire library is available on video. But let's just say you're on the go. You don't got time or battery to watch a video. Well, you're in luck. Down here is the entire podcast library on audio. So the entire RSS feed is here, and you can just straight up hit play and listen to the newest episodes. And if that isn't good enough for you, down here below, I have the other links section, so you can see these are the other links for pretty much everywhere else that you can stream the podcast. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon TuneIn, and then some more video options down here: Rumble, BitChute, Minds, Odyssey, all the alt tech platforms. I am up on there, so if you're into that, they are there. I want to make my podcast as available as possible. That's the full episodes. I'm going to be adding probably more to this. Again, this is just very much a skeleton. But I wanted to get it out there. I was tired of sitting on this thing. Then we go to about the show, and you get a little intro, I guess, that I wrote. And then down here is the current independent projects. So these are essentially projects that I'm working on. Right now, as you can see, the podcast in full swing. The review series is in full swing. Haven't done one in a couple of months. Granted, there hasn't been much out there, but this will be coming back for sure. And then I also have this Untitled animated short, which is something I'm working on. It's a little side project that I'm working on. And that's all I want to say about that right now. But yeah, check out this. Again, I'm going to add more to this. Like I said, just a very much intro thing. But as my portfolio online begins to expand even beyond podcasting, this website will adapt with it. And that's kind of something I want to hammer home right now, is that, yeah, this website is very bare bones for right now, but I want to leave it that way because I want to be able to add on more. And I don't want the website to be clunky and full of a bunch of useless crap. Like, to the point, that was kind of my methodology here, is what is important. And oops, got a little message there. Let me turn off notifications here. Whatever. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I want the website to basically be this home base, like I meant, for the podcast, but not only that, just for everything that I want to do creatively. And in this animated short is just one of these things that, I'm kind of spitballing around right now. So, who knows what is to come. I'm always getting inspired. I'm always finding new things that I want to do. And this is just another outlet that I can use to promote those things and keep people updated as well. That's kind of what I want this current independent project section to be, is more of just a way to update you guys on what I'm working on, and what I have ideas for. Because that's the thing. I don't want to just, I'm realizing that I want to do other things with the podcast and use the podcast as a means to promote those things. So, I mean, obviously the podcast is in full swing and is not stopping anytime soon, but I want this website. That's why it's not called the TJMartinoPodcast.com. It's just called TJMartino.com, because I want it to be everything I do, not just the podcast, not exclusive to that. Obviously right now it's more angled in that direction because that's what I'm mostly focused on right now. But in the future, for sure, I will be expanding my range to other ventures, other projects that I want to work on. So that this is going to be kind of a page to keep you updated on me, and for people that don't know me, a little bit of an introduction. And then you got Ask TJ Pod here, which is essentially, I wanted to make this like a interactive section where listeners and viewers and fans of the show can, drop their 2 cents on the show, so that, recommendations for topics to talk about with, guests or even just myself, movie and album recommendations. So any sort of content you want me to maybe review or talk about is fair game. And then, segment ideas and other things like that. Anything that you think you can add to the show, even if you want to send stuff, I don't know. I got to get a PO box, but if that is something that people would be interested in doing, this would be the place to go for that. And then also here I have my social media links, the Twitter, Facebook, Gab pages, for those of you. And then down here, so where you will do the actual, let's just say you have an idea that you want to share with the show, share with me. You'll come down here to this little leave a reply section and you'll drop a comment. That's simple. And it could be as simple as just a review, like being like, this podcast is the worst thing I've ever listened to, or this podcast is the best and most inspiring thing I've ever listened to, which I'm hoping it's the latter. But yeah, this is the place to do all of that. This is just kind of I wanted to have like an open forum for not even just the podcast, just in general, I guess, but mainly the podcast right now. And then lastly, the book or contact section. So I wanted this to kind of be more personal messages to me. So if you want to be on the podcast, if you want me to be on your podcast, or anything that you could add, any value you could add to the show or to my other ventures, this is the place. If you can add value to the TJ Martino podcast or other things that I'm working on, this is the place to do it. All you have to do is leave a name, email, and whatever you want to talk about, and then just hit this little contact us button, and boom. It's that simple. So, yeah, I mean, that's the TJ Martino podcast website right now. The TJ Martino website right now. It's pretty simple, but I'm gonna add more to it, obviously, over time. But I figured it's time to just nut up and build a website, and because it's always been something I've thought about doing, and the thing about it was I was very intimidated by the whole concept of building a website. Coding and things like that aren't really my expertise, so it was a little bit of a learning curve. But I think WordPress is pretty user friendly hosting service. So I had my struggles at first, kind of navigating the menus and figuring out what I actually wanted the website to look like aesthetically. I think that was the biggest pitfall in building it. But yeah, it was a nice little side project that I'm glad I got finished. So from now on, you know where to find me, TJMARTINO.com. That's the place to be.